The Assembly Hall of the United Nations glowed with an eerie blue light. Every delegate stepped back as the atmosphere seemed to twist and ripple unnaturally. In a sudden flash that forced eyes to blink, the alien emerged. Ambassador Cathra towered, 7 feet, his gray, stone-like skin rigid and imposing. His forearms shifted with precise grace, while his wide black eyes scanned every human present. When he spoke, a device on his chest translated his voice into flawless English. "People of Earth," Cathra declared, "this is your final warning." At the front, President Jack Morrison sat among the gathered leaders. He had seen this being twice before. Both times Cathra had demanded the same thing. Both times Earth had refused. "The Galactic Coalition fights for its survival," the ambassador pressed. "The Void Swarm closes on your system daily. They devour entire worlds. They transform all life into more of themselves. Only united strength halts them." Dr. Lisa Carter leaned forward, recalling every alien technology she had studied. The Coalition's ships were extraordinary, yet they were steadily losing. Reports confirmed 3 Coalition planets had fallen just this past month. "Alone, we shield you," Cathra continued. "Join our armies. Give us soldiers. In exchange, we protect your world when the swarm comes." Captain Ryan Blake shifted uneasily. He commanded Earth's small fleet, 12 orbital defenses and 30 exploration craft. Compared to Coalition warships, they resembled toys. Against the Void Swarm, they might endure 10 minutes. Rising, Morrison brought silence. "Our position has not changed," he said firmly. "We thank the Coalition, but Earth will stay neutral." Cathra's forearms twitched with what might be fury. "You fail to understand. The swarm ignores neutrality. They will consume you regardless." "Perhaps," Morrison replied evenly, "but Earth will not sacrifice its people for another's war. We have watched this galaxy destroy itself long enough. We choose peace." The alien's voice grated like metal. "Peace? You call hiding in your small system peace? The Coalition has fought for 50 years. Billions have perished slowing. The swarm! Yet you sit secure behind primitive defenses, speaking of peace." Dr. Carter flushed. "Primitive defenses?" Humanity had built every ship, every shield, every weapon through its own ingenuity. "Our defenses keep us safe," she countered. "We hold no colonies. We claim no territory. We threaten no one." "Not a threat?" Cathra laughed bitterly. "Your species multiplies faster than any. Each year your numbers swell by millions. Inevitably, you will spread outward. What then? Will you still call yourselves harmless farmers?" Captain Blake stood. "Our future is ours to choose. Right. Now, Earth wants no part of your war." Cathra's black eyes locked on him. "Captain, your pitiful fleet counts what? 30 ships. The Corvanians wield 3,000 cruisers. The Allans unleash 10,000 fighters in one battle group. The Zephyrians can shatter a planet's crust with a single bombardment vessel. And you believe 30 exploration craft suffice for neutrality?" Blake's reply was quiet but steady. "Our ships don't make us strong. Our unity does. Every human agrees. We will not fight your war." Soundless steps carried Cathra closer, his presence like icy wind. "Unity," he repeated. "Yes, humans cooperate well. We have noted this. But unity is useless against the swarm. They are more unified than any species. Each drone shares one mind. Each ship serves one purpose. Your unity will not save you." Morrison stepped forward. "If that day comes, we will face it together. But until then, Earth will not be dragged into another's battle." Cathra's gaze swept over every leader, soldier, and scientist. When he spoke again, his words were colder than deep space. "So be it. The Coalition offered partnership. You chose isolation. When the swarm reaches you, expect no aid. We will fight for civilizations wise enough to stand with us." He raised one arm. Blue light spread around him. "Remember this moment," he said darkly. "Remember your choice when your cities burn and your people scream. Remember the galaxy gave you a chance to live." With another flash, he vanished. President Morrison scanned the hall. Leaders met his eyes in silence. At last, Russia's president asked, "Did we choose correctly?" Morrison nodded slowly. "Earth has survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, nuclear arms, always by standing together and deciding for ourselves. That does not change." Dr. Carter gathered her notes. If the void swarm truly approached, Earth required stronger defenses, human defenses. Meanwhile, Captain Blake was already considering the truth. 30 ships would never be enough. Earth required more. Not coalition ships bound by foreign control, but true human craftsmanship, fast, durable, and dependable. As world leaders exited the Great Hall, none realized they had only 6 months before their decision would be tested. None foresaw that neutrality would soon prove impossible. Yet the choice was made. Earth would stand alone, as it always had. Whether the galaxy liked it or not, it would learn to respect that choice. Half a year slipped by like a quiet dream. Earth drifted calmly through the void while distant systems burned. Coalition War updates painted a grim reality. Another 3 worlds had fallen to the void swarm. Defensive lines fractured. Billions of refugees streamed inward. Yet Earth remained undisturbed. Children attended school. Farmers tended fields. Researchers pursued projects of peace. Orbital defenses held silent watch, and nothing broke the stillness of the solar frontier. Dr. Lisa Carter set down her morning coffee and studied her long-range sensor feeds. No anomalies, no signals, no dangers. Smiling faintly, she returned to her studies in alien biology. The Coalition had released data before their final meeting, and she found its cellular patterns enthralling. Elsewhere, Captain Ryan Blake inspected a new orbital platform when his comm device chimed, just another maintenance update. The fleet was modest but well kept. Every ship stood ready, though Blake prayed they would never be tested. Across the galaxy, Commander Zihai of the Corvanian military caste reviewed tactical readouts in his war chamber. Each passing day, the Coalition yielded ground. The swarm advanced deeper into civilized space with every clash. Resources dwindled. Ships vanished faster than replacements could be built. His aide, a young officer named Vexar, approached with a message from command. "Sir, High Command approved your emergency recruitment request." Zihai bared sharp teeth in satisfaction. "Excellent. Assemble the task force. 3 heavy cruisers and 12 fighters will suffice." Vexar hesitated. "Sir, is this wise? The humans refuse to enlist." Zihai laughed darkly. "Vexar, this is not a dance. It is war. The Coalition needs bodies, and their primitive world has billions. We will take them. But, sir, forced conscription of neutrals defies Coalition law." Zihai's 4 eyes gleamed in fury. "Law? The Coalition is dying. The swarm does not honor laws. Without soldiers, no Coalition will remain." He gestured at a star chart, pointing to a yellow dot. "Earth, 4 billion humans. Strong, youthful, fertile, ideal soldiers. We seize half their numbers, strip their resources, and use their system as a forward base. The war turns." His gaze hardened. "And should they resist? With what? 30 survey ships and a handful of orbital guns? Their crude explosives and ballistic weapons? Our shields will drink their fire like rain." Vexar shifted uneasily, but held his tongue. Orders were orders. 3 days later, the Corvanian task group burst from hyperspace on the solar system's rim. Massive silhouettes hung among the stars. Each cruiser stretched 2 miles and bore energy cannons capable of splitting moons. From the bridge of his flagship, Zihai regarded the blue planet, so serene, so ignorant of its fate. "Open a channel," he commanded. The signal linked straight to the United Nations. President Jack Morrison was mid-meeting when his aides stormed. "Sir, urgent! Unknown ships have entered the system." Morrison rushed to communications. On screen appeared Zihai, his 4 eyes cold and unblinking. "Humans of Earth," he declared. "I am Commander Zihai of the Corvanian caste. Your refusal has left us no alternative. Emergency recruitment begins now." "Emergency recruitment?" Morrison demanded. "What does that mean?" "It means we take what is required," Zihai said flatly. "Half your people will be drafted into our armies. Your resources will fuel our war. Your system becomes a forward base. Resist, and you face annihilation." Morrison felt ice flood his veins. "That is invasion and slavery." "No," Zihai replied. "It is survival, the coalition's survival. Prepare your citizens. Processing begins in 1 hour." The transmission cut. Morrison instantly hailed Blake. "Ryan, how quickly can our ships mobilize?" "Already moving to intercept," Blake answered grimly. "But, sir, we are hopelessly outmatched. Those cruisers could erase us without pause." "Do what you can. I'll trigger global evacuation protocols." Across Earth, sirens wailed. Yet in rural Montana, farmer Jake Peterson worked his fields, too far to hear alarms. He looked up as alien fighters screamed overhead, craft unlike any human design. One dipped and unleashed fire on his cattle. Energy beams carved through them like knives through butter. "What the hell?" Jake yelled. On its next pass, the fighter targeted his house. In seconds, blazing fire reduced it to rubble. His wife and children were safe in town, but his home was gone. Jake was no soldier anymore. He raised wheat, tended cattle, and lived simply. He had not left Montana since his service 2 decades earlier. Yet as alien fire consumed his world, something ancient and furious awakened inside him. He sprinted. His small fleet engaged the towering Corvanian warships. It was a disaster. "Sir, Platform 7 is gone," reported his comm officer. "Platform 3 is burning." Blake's hands clenched the armrest as another violent blast rattled his flagship. Alien fire sliced through their shields like thin paper. Yet something unexpected stirred below on Earth. "Captain, fresh reports from the surface," the officer added. "The invaders are meeting heavy resistance." Blake frowned. "Resistance? From what? Our armies aren't deployed yet." The main screen filled with updates from across the globe. In Texas, hunters surrounded and captured a landing squad. In Russia, farmers revived old weapons to hammer alien vehicles. In Japan, martial arts schools trained citizens in hand-to-hand combat against the invaders. But the greatest surprise came from the cities. Where the aliens anticipated chaos and surrender, they met defiance and organization. General Kate Williams had woken to alarms in the Pentagon. Now she directed Earth's scattered defense. The situation was dire, but not beyond hope. "Ma'am, we've confirmed," Colonel Peters reported. "The enemy's ground units are faltering. They're weak in close combat." Williams studied her screens. The alien ships were deadly, but their troops on the ground were fewer than expected and clumsy against human resistance. "What weapons are they using?" she asked. "Energy rifles, shields, and stun devices. But they're unused to enemies fighting back this hard." Williams smiled grimly. "Of course. They conquer species that collapse when outgunned. They've never fought humans." In New York, Police Captain Steve Rogers led 50 officers in a pitched fight against aliens occupying Central Park. The enemy carried advanced arms but moved slowly, baffled by human maneuvering. "Hit fast! Keep moving!" Rogers shouted. "Don't let them track you!" Alien fire blazed in straight lines, assuming enemies would stand and trade shots. Instead, the officers darted behind cover, struck from odd angles, and pressed relentlessly. Shotguns and pistols cut several aliens down. Rogers hurled a grenade, scattering the rest, and his team charged with clubs and knives. The aliens' armor was useless once humans closed the distance. Dr. Lisa Carter, no soldier, found herself in battle when troops stormed her lab. "Amy, help me save this gear," she yelled to Dr. Foster. They were scrambling to secure alien research when soldiers burst inside. Carter hurled a broken alien device at one, and to her shock, it detonated on impact. Both scientists froze. "You knew it would do that?" Foster gasped. "No," Carter said quickly, "but I'm learning." She tore into more alien gear. Some were tools, some weapons, all more potent than the enemy used them. "Amy, these power cells are at only 30%, and this weapon has 3 modes. They only use the lowest." Foster examined another device. "It's like they fear their own tech. Every design is crippled by safeties." Carter's smile was cold. "Well, we aren't afraid. Let's see its full potential." In orbit, Commander Zihai watched his invasion unravel. Casualty reports poured in. Worse, the humans were repurposing their weapons. "Sir, they're modifying our gear," Vexar warned, "turning it against us." Zihai scowled. "Impossible. Their science is primitive." "Then watch this." The screen showed humans firing energy rifles twice as strong as their originals. Zihai stared. "How?" "Unknown, sir. But they're also using our vehicles, comms, even med units. Everything they seize, they enhance." On Earth, Jake Peterson had gathered 50 farmers and ranchers. They hunted alien patrols armed with captured weapons. "Jake, this rifle's overheating," said neighbor Bill Watson. Jake checked the stripped-down gun. They had ripped away safeties and doubled its output. Dangerous, but effective. "Don't hold the trigger long," Jake warned. "We'll build sturdier ones later." They had also captured a transport, built for 6 soldiers, but retooled by Jake to haul 20 humans with heavy arms. Aliens built for endurance, humans built for war. Reports arrived hourly at the Pentagon. The pattern was clear. Initial alien success, human adaptation, alien withdrawal. "Ma'am, they're retreating from cities," Peters confirmed. "They can't hold ground." "Good. And their ships? Still overhead, but not supporting. Their troops. We're shaking them." Williams nodded. The invaders had expected easy conquest. Instead, they met a world of furious humans adapting by the hour. Each device captured became a new weapon, deadlier than before. Alien ships, still, ruled the skies, but desperation crept into Zihai's eyes. That was when the danger would peak. 3 months in, his casualty reports told the truth. Half his forces gone, 6 landing craft and 12 fighters captured, enemy weapons wielded better by humans than by his soldiers. "Sir," Vexar said softly, "we need reinforcements. The humans grow too dangerous." Zihai had already begged for more ships twice, and each wave fell short. The humans adapted faster than Corvanians could plan. "Send another. Message High Command," he commanded. "Tell them we require a full battle fleet," CI insisted. On Earth, Admiral Tom Baker stood on the bridge of humanity's first genuine warship. Once a cargo hauler supplying the moon, it now bristled with alien weaponry torn from fighters, powered by modified alien energy cores. "Sir, engineering finished the upgrades," Chief Engineer Carlos Martinez reported. "We've tripled the original firepower." Baker nodded. The vessel looked crude, human, and alien parts welded together in ugly fashion, but it worked. More importantly, its crew was filled with humans who had learned to hate their foes. "How many signed up for boarding duty?" Baker asked. "Every single crew member, sir, and another 1,000 waiting transport." Baker smiled grimly. The aliens favored distance, firing energy weapons from the safety of their vessels. Humans wanted proximity, very close proximity. Colonel Rick Davis led the first boarding unit trained on a captured alien vessel. His troops were soldiers and civilians alike, bound together by loss and desire for vengeance. "Listen up," Davis told them. "Alien ships have long hauls, perfect for ambushes. They expect us to copy their tactics. We won't." He lifted a shotgun. 12 pellets at close range. Their armor stops beams, not metal. Then he showed a flamethrower. "They breathe differently, but fire burns everything." The soldiers nodded grimly, eager to return pain with pain. Meanwhile, Dr. Amy Foster had moved her research into underground bunkers, working tirelessly with engineers on alien tech. "We cracked their shields," she radioed Carter. "They're only effective against energy blasts." "What about bullets?" Carter asked. "They slip right through. And ours? We can make shields that block both." Foster grinned at her creation, a human rifle firing alien energy, shielded by alien defenses, powered by alien cores, but improved at every turn. The Corvanians built for safety, humans built for killing. At the same time, Jake Peterson's farmer militia had grown into 3,000 volunteers, controlling most of Montana and spreading outward. New recruits arrived daily, carrying weapons, supplies, and tales of alien cruelty. "Jake, we've got a situation," Watson reported. "Reinforcements landing 50 miles north." Peterson studied their captured alien tactical display. More enemies meant more technology. "Bill, remember their pattern? Same landing formation, same defenses. They never adapt." Peterson had memorized every move over months. The Corvanians excelled against other species, but clung to procedure. Humans improvised after every clash. "Rally the teams," Peterson ordered. "We strike before they're dug in." At dawn, they surrounded the new site, using captured vehicles and improvised gear. No straight fight, ambushes, traps, psychological strikes. Expecting long-range duels, the aliens instead met explosives in their camps, then humans charging with shotguns and fire through smoke. It was slaughter. Colonel Davis watched humanity's first spaceboarding mission unfold from Baker's flagship. 20 volunteers in modified suits approached a crippled alien cruiser. "Take prisoners," Davis ordered. "We need fleet intel." Cutting tools breached the hull, and within minutes they stalked corridors meant for taller, slower beings. The aliens had never faced such speed in close quarters. Humans slithered through vents, used maintenance shafts, struck from angles no Corvanian expected. Reaching the bridge, they found the captain erasing systems rather than letting them fall. Davis led the storm. Tall, arrogant, armored, the captain sneered. "Primitive beasts! You cannot defeat a coalition forged over millennia." Davis smiled coldly. "You've fought aliens for 1,000 years. You've never fought us." The alien reached for a weapon. Davis shot his hand, grabbed his throat. "You'll tell us everything, fleet positions, weapons, defenses." "I'll tell you nothing." Davis glanced at the cowering crew. "Here's your difference. You fight because you're ordered. We fight because we choose." He pulled a knife. "And right now, we choose answers." The captain lasted 15 minutes before breaking. Back on Earth, Williams reviewed the captured intel. The fleet was vast, but flawed, built for energy duels against advanced foes, heavy shields, brutal weapons, but no defense against human war, boarding, traps, terror. "Colonel Peters, ready the fleet. Offensive action." "Ma'am, we're still outnumbered." 10-1! Williams scanned the reports. Everywhere, humans winning through grit and invention. "Colonel, the aliens made one mistake. They thought we'd fight by their rules. Now we'll show them how humans wage war." Defense was finished. It was time for vengeance. 6 months after the first alien vessel entered the solar system, President. Carrying altered alien weapons and clad in captured armor, human soldiers stood guard behind Morrison. Above them, loomed the shattered remains of a Corvanian cruiser, now a symbol of human resolve. Facing the camera, Morrison began his address to the galaxy. This is President Morrison of Earth. 6 months ago, your coalition demanded our involvement in your war. We declined. We wanted peace. We wanted solitude to mend our own struggles. His words spread to every alien world. Listening, Commander Jai of the Corvanian caste believed our refusal irrelevant. He unleashed his fleets upon us. He murdered our people. He sought to enslave humanity. Morrison's eyes were sharp as frost as he stepped closer. Today I declare that Earth formally enters war against the Corvanian caste and any coalition, powers that aided them. We never wanted this conflict, but since you forced it on us, we will finish it. The message ended, racing like fire through the stars. Admiral Tom Baker led the first human offensive fleet toward the Corvanian base. At Kepler Station, 20 human ships, forged from alien technology fused with human ingenuity, prowled forward like predators. "Sir, heavy defenses ahead," reported Captain Maria Santos. 36 platforms, over 50 warships. The base was immense, supporting 3 star systems. By ordinary standards, it was untouchable. But humans had abandoned ordinary standards long ago. "Phase 1, Baker ordered. Instead of charging the station, the fleet scattered, preying on isolated Corvanian ships. Their tactics were alien to the aliens: decoys, ambushes, manipulation. Captain Ben Clark commanded Thunder, a boarding ship crewed by grieving volunteers. They fought not for victory, but vengeance. "Target locked," Clark said as their ship closed on a Corvanian freighter. The enemy tried to run, but human vessels, stripped of safety limits and boosted to reckless speeds, were faster. Within minutes, Thunder latched on. Boarding teams cut through the hull, pouring inside like a tide of fury. The Corvanian crew quickly yielded, haunted by tales of human raiders. Underground on Earth, Dr. Amy Foster unveiled her newest weapon. "Lisa, take a look," she called. Dr. Carter studied it. An alien energy rifle altered beyond recognition. "This will collapse any alien shield in seconds," Carter realized. "It backfeeds into their grid. One shot could cripple an entire vessel." Foster's smile was grim. "The aliens build for longevity. We build to kill. That's the difference." Meanwhile, Jake Peterson carried war to the outer colonies. With captured alien cruisers, his volunteer army struck Corvanian outposts mercilessly. "Fuel depot ahead," Bill Watson reported. "Standard plan," Peterson said coldly. "Leave no survivors." Their raids were swift, erasing every station. Dead foes couldn't warn others. This was no war as the galaxy knew it. It was eradication. At Kepler Station, Commander Jai received report after report. 14 outposts gone in 1 week. "How?" he demanded. "They have only dozens of ships." Vexar trembled. "Sir, they do not fight by procedure. They strike without warning, seize what they wish, and obliterate the rest." The humans weren't conquering. They were exterminating. Captain Clark's fleet swelled with captured vessels, now crewed by human hands. They advanced on Corvan Prime itself. Outnumbered 5-1, they attacked anyway, striking from all sides. Boarding, ramming, improvising. Fearless, ruthless. The 6-hour battle shattered the Corvanian fleet and left their homeworld bare. Opening a channel, Clark declared, "People of Corvan Prime, I am Captain Clark. Your leaders attacked Earth. Now we demand payment." The government pleaded, offering resources, technology, tribute. Clark's gaze was ice. "You misunderstand. We don't want your wealth. We want vengeance. Every human life lost will be repaid in your blood." An hour later, bombardment began. Far in coalition space, Ambassador Cathra was recalled, not as recruiter, but envoy of peace. He reappeared in the UN chamber where he had once issued threats. Now, human leaders wore alien armor as trophies. Their eyes radiated lethal confidence. "Ambassador Cathra," Morrison said coldly, "I assume you've come to discuss surrender." Cathra bristled. "President Morrison, the coalition seeks peace. Surely—" Morrison's smile froze him. "Months ago, you promised our cities would burn, our people would scream. You were right. Only you were wrong about whose people." Rising, Morrison's voice was steel. "Earth has no interest in peace. We've learned we excel at war, perhaps better than any species alive. We will continue until every Corvanian asset is ashes and every ally of yours pays in blood." Cathra recoiled. "The galaxy will unite against you." Morrison's reply was lethal calm. "Let them try. We never wanted your war. But now that we're in it, we'll win it our way." As Cathra vanished, he carried one dreadful certainty. Something ancient and dangerous had awakened. Humanity was no longer farmers. They had become warriors. And their war was only beginning.